So thinking about dedicated account manager. So this is, of course, what many clients ask us. So even the ones who make a lot of money, and this was also an issue that I had in the past, for example, with subscriptions, the business was doing fine, but I was thinking everything that I built over the last 2 years is the subscriptions. And what is if Stripe doesn't like me anymore tomorrow? And basically everything that I've built over the last 2 years feels at least under risk, because maybe there's a good online support, but I don't see any person that I can actually speak with. The same like when I use fintech bank accounts, I can use them a little bit, but I don't feel it's actually the same like using my priority or private banking. When does it actually make sense to shift from maybe Stripe, even if you do everything right, just because you feel not safe and you want to have something where you have a proper dedicated account manager? Because many times we have clients who ask for this maybe too early, they have no issues, and many times people do it too late, basically. And also what we see is that you need to prove also many things for proper payment processing. Many times you need good bank statements, you need history. It's issue many times with young e-commerce entrepreneurs who say next month I make 2 million, last month I made $50. So what's actually the right timing?
Yeah, and I think the question more is along like processor diversification, like when should I look at alternative options? Is that just to clarify? Yeah. You should always be looking, I would say. Stripe is very unpredictable in nature to a degree. Again, I have really good friends at Stripe that I talk to all the time and like account managers. So, I don't knock it. I think where Stripe is changing their models. So I think where people, want to look at is that Stripe is really moving into like a more of like a payments infrastructure system versus like a payment processor system. Like they used to just board a lot of online startups and that's kind of their MO. And I think you're starting to see them move. They're slowly moving away from that. And they're really a financial infrastructure system. Like they have Stripe Connect, they have Stripe Tax, they have, you can use their dashboards now and you can plug in third-party processors. So I think kind of recognize that, like it's good to have Stripe. It's easy, you can have it there. But if I'm doing like really big volume, I'm going to start diversifying, probably at that 100, 200,000 mark, right? You start with Shopify, Stripe, you look at like an Airwallex, you have Payoneer, but then you start to look at like, checkout.com or Adyen or PaySafe or Nuvei. There's kind of like this myriad of global processors that are out there. So yeah, I would say 100,000, 200,000 when you start, look at diversifying. Kind of what we offer, and not to kind of toot our own horn here, is that we've kind of done the labor to get account managers at all of these processors. So like they know me, and like I already have a dedicated partner manager, and then we get AMs assigned to my clients. So if I look at like the entire portfolio of clients that I boarded for the last year and a half, I think I could probably put on one hand like the number of problems that we've had with hundreds of clients we boarded. And the reason that there were problems is because they were boarded, then they didn't communicate, or like blew up their account, which is like, it doesn't look good for me, right? So we try to reach out and then they don't contact. So that's like that's bad on us. Most of the merchants, 99% of them cooperate, right? So there's no issues. So that's where, we're able to, get that alignment and that security for that merchant that they typically don't have when they just go one-to-one, right? You're kind of applying into this like black hole. You get some random account manager that may reach out to you. It's not really great service, but a lot of these big ones like Checkout, Adyen, like, sometimes they're just too big and it kind of gets mixed. So with us, we kind of give you that white glove through that big company.